Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, welcome back to my channel and I'm super excited about today's video. I know that I told you guys I'd be posting more creepy videos on Thursdays, but I decided, hey, because someone reminded me of a story from a long time ago, and I was like, that would be a very interesting story time. So I was like, you know what, I'm just story time tomorrow. So today we were doing the story of the time I was almost kidnapped. So the story started off as, you know, any moody 8-year-old would start off a story. I had gotten mad about something, and I don't remember exactly what it was that I'd gotten mad about, but it had really frustrated me, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go outside and go on a walk and, like, I guess just cheer myself up. As an 8-year-old, I was used to, like, doing stuff by myself. Like, I had siblings, don't get me wrong, I've got tons of siblings, but, like, I just didn't want to be around anybody. So I was like, I'll go outside. Well, for some reason, there's this big semi-truck that had been in our neighborhood. I don't know if they were delivering something or like what the point of it being there was, but it had gotten stuck and they could not get it out. And there was cars trying to get around it and they couldn't, so they're directing them out, and I thought this was the most fascinating thing as an 8-year-old. I don't know why, but I did. So I sat out there for a good while watching them try to get this semi-truck out, and eventually they did because it's not there anymore. But they ended up getting the semi-truck out, and I was like, you know, I'm still not calmed down. I think I'm just gonna sit here a little longer. It was just my siblings and I at home, so like my mom wasn't there. She had actually been across the street at a friend's house that was like a family friend of ours, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go sit outside of like that cul-de-sac area where they were. I was like, I'm just gonna go sit there and chill and hang out. Like, not like, as an 8-year-old, I didn't think anything was gonna happen. Like, it was not like in my head like, oh my gosh, I could get kidnapped. Like, that wasn't going through my head at the time. So I decided I was gonna sit there all by myself. It's like dark, it's like late for somebody my age to be out there, but I really didn't care because, like I said, I was angry. And so I was sitting there, and my brother's friend's mom came home, and she saw me, and she was like, do you need a ride home? And I was like, no, I'm good. And she goes, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. She goes, are you positive? Where do you live? And I was like, oh, just the next cul-de-sac over. Like, it's fine, I'll walk home in a little bit. Like, it's okay. And she goes, okay. And so she goes inside. So I'm sitting there for probably about 5 more minutes or so. And at this point, it's getting darker and darker the longer I'm standing out there. So it's probably 8:30 or 9 by this point. And so I was just, you know, sitting there playing with like the rocks and stuff on the ground, because I don't know why I thought that was the most fascinating thing to do, but I did. So, when all of a sudden this car came and it stopped, and I was just like, what? And so I'm sitting there, and it, like, nobody's getting out or anything, they just stop. And I was like, that's strange. So I get up and I probably take like I take probably 10 or 15 steps backwards. And the car, it was this, I would say like navy blue or black minivan. And I couldn't tell because it was dark, but this van drives and its door is like lined up to where I am. So like I'm on the sidewalk right here, he stops where his door is directly where I am. And all of a sudden they get out, and I was like, holy shit, I'm about to get kidnapped. So I like turn around and I run home. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm safe, I'm inside, whatever, I'm with my family. And I like tell my brother, and my brother was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, this car, like, I literally just about got kidnapped. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. And my brother's like, I think you're fine. But he was like, let's go outside and check to make sure like nobody's out there, whatever. So I went outside, and as we're walking out, we had walked into the driveway, and we had a big van because I've got a lot of siblings. And we were like standing in front of the van kind of watching, and the other van, not my van, but the other van drove up to our cul-de-sac, and like you could see the guy in the car like looking both ways, and we're just like, this is terrifying. My mom's not home, like we can't get a hold of her. So my brother was just like, we're gonna stay here until they go away, because they couldn't see us from where we were. And so we stood there for probably about 2 or 3 minutes, and the van finally drove off, and he's like, okay, let's go. So we went inside, and we all stayed up and waited for my mom to go home, and told her, and she was like, that's terrifying. So, sorry. So that was the time that I almost got kidnapped, and it was terrifying, and that was not the only time I almost got kidnapped, but that's a story for another time. Anyway, thank you for watching, and thank you for coming back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, because I post every Mondays and Thursdays. Also, showstopper of the week goes out to one of my good friends, Hallie. Her Instagram is Mixed Emotions 2001. So go request to follow her and show her some love.